Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly C Compute meeting. Let me place the agenda in the chat. We have a pretty low attendance today, so we might have a shorter meeting. If you have any topic that you want to discuss, please add it to the agenda. And please add yourself to the attendees section. Thank you, Aurel. If there aren't any other topics, maybe we can talk about this PR for migrating to validation policies. Um, so yeah, it's my own meta VP that basically suggests to move away from webhooks into validating admission policies whenever it makes sense. The idea is that most of our validation logic, I think, can be moved away to VEPs. And basically, we will only keep webhooks whenever it's strictly necessary. For example, to do API calls or stuff like that cell expressions do not support. If somebody has, there are a lot of comments that I haven't really addressed yet. But if there are any thoughts or anything worth discussing on this subject, we can do that.
I think I commented and sent you a suggestion to extend that VEP, but the bottom line is for you don't need to move to VAPs. You can just move to KubeBuilder cell, which should solve the most of the problem and keep the VAP only for specific cases. So they're usually the cube builder, I mean, the schema, the part that were in the schema, the classic one is not good because of what is explained there already. That's good, but there is another option I found about it only lately that you can add actually the cell part you can add to the schema as well, and then for for the regular things you can use it. And you can leave the VAP only for things that are very, very special cases, like, for example, if you want to dynamically change them or stuff like that.
But doesn't it have the same problem as the other cube builder validations, that it becomes part of the schema and all of that?
No, it's only server side. It has a special annotation or tag, I don't know how to call it, and that affects it's in the schema and it affects the API server. So the API server will validate it as part of the CRD, and that's it. But it will not affect the clients, as far as I know.
Sounds really cool. Thank you. Yeah, I think it makes total sense.
So there is
And as
I posted there is like I had a discussion with the agent about it, so you can see the summary of it. I try to be as accurate as possible. So and regarding convincing the difference between the classic one and the VAP one, yeah.
Cool, thank you. And yeah, as I said, I need to have a deeper look on the comments there. But yeah, it sounds like a great idea if it doesn't change the schema. Thank you.
Oh, there was an. If you'll read the comments there, I didn't comment about that one. I didn't have the time, but there was. I don't remember who raised it, but there was. They mentioned that you could reference from the VAP that you can reference to another object, like you understand. It's like you are checking. For example, you have. Kubewirth CR with feature gates that you can reference to it from the VAP, but that's incorrect. There is like a side feature, I will say, for the VAP, which allows you to reference content from a config map or something very strange, or another object of the same type of the one that you are monitoring. So, which is like odd. I don't understand why is it good, but it's very limited. It's not really that you can query another object or another resource. But you will see it in the reviews. I didn't comment about that one.
That's interesting. The first thing that comes into my head in this sense is feature gate enablement check, because theoretically we can dump all of the enabled feature gates into a config map or something like that, and then we can move a lot more validations into VAPs.
Yeah, that's one option, but I prefer I will prefer the option that you have this. You suggested there to have some of the VAPs being reconciled by the virt operator, I think. So I think that one is a good option, like but it's only for very, very specific thing. Like feature gates, you could reconcile a VAP that handles validation for feature gates, and then every time someone changes the Kubewirth CR with the feature gate, you immediately reflect it in the VAP, and that's it. So that will work. Like that sounds like a good solution, but we should be careful not to abuse it. Like for this specific case, it makes sense, but for things that are operational and may change all the time, I don't think that's a good solution. So it depends on what you need.
But can't we use what you said earlier, that we will have only one config map object, for example, that will be reconciled whenever we change feature gates, and then all VAPs would point to it, and we wouldn't have to reconcile all of them? I mean, we would still reconcile them for regular purpose.
Well, but then you will copy the data. You need to duplicate the data from the Kubewirth CR to a config map. It's possible, but I don't. That sounds like doesn't sound nice. At least, I don't know.
Cool, interesting stuff. Thank you for having a look. So yeah, that was my small subject for today. Are there any other stuff that somebody wants to talk about, or we can have a short meeting this week? All right. Then I guess I'll give you 20 minutes back. Thank you, everyone, for showing up, and see you next week. Bye-bye.